I'm Renee.
And I'm Anthony, and we are the voices, healers, and channelers behind Blue Soul Earth. We connect to higher levels of consciousness to bring forth divine energies, to heal and to teach ancient wisdom.
These energies that we access from higher dimensions largely consist of the ascended masters that humanity across cultures knows really well. They are many, but they speak collectively as one voice. And for simplicity's sake, we call them our spirit team.
How we channel as a couple is very unique. The energies we channel come down through Renee's crown chakra, through her solar plexus, into my solar plexus, and then back up through my crown chakra, and it forms a three-dimensional triangle that's used to heal and to teach.
These energies flow through us a bit like an infinity 8. The symbolism behind why and how this happens is actually pretty profound.
It's actually accessing divine feminine and divine masculine energies, weaving them together to form one energy to heal and to teach.
We will be channeling different topics in roughly 10 to 15 minute segments that will be part of our Blue Soul Wisdom series.
So if you're just starting out on your spiritual journey,
or if you'd like to access higher levels of consciousness,
or you'd like to take your healing practice to the next level,
then join us.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Anthony.
And I'm Renee. And we're here today to talk about how to master and discover the power within each of us.
We're going to be reading from The Three Questions by Don Miguel Ruiz.
Anyone who's read his work knows just how powerful he is, and he often writes in parables. He's an amazing storyteller. So we're going to bring forth our guides today and talk about the inward power that we all have access to. As Anthony begins to connect with our guides from higher dimensions, I'm going to read just a few passages from Don's book.
It is always an honor and privilege to be in your presence, Gaia.
Thanks, guys. I'm a fan of Don's work, and his latest book, The Three Questions, he asks very simplistic questions. Who am I? What is real? And what is love? So I thought I would read just a few things from his book, and we could talk about this and how it relates to humanity today.
Maybe we can also answer those three questions.
Most relationship problems have to do with your government wanting to be right and deciding that every other government is wrong. Defending your own constitution that we often declare war on other nations and people. All of this inhibits your natural inclination to love and be generous. Your Congress has overruled your authenticity. Your beliefs and ideologies may feel as if they're the heart and soul of you, but they're not. Most of the battles we fight are in our heads. We grapple with ideas and constantly struggle with notions of right and wrong. Like most conflicts between nations, our wars with each other are public declarations of self-importance. So if we refuse to quit these old habits and pretenses, how can we ever experience the truth of who we really are?
How can you ever experience the truth
Yes.
of who you truly are? Well, that is relative. But let's say that you are trying to understand the truth of who you are in this particular timeline, here at this moment. How can you understand it? Well, I guess it all depends on what you consider to be true. Do you understand? Truth is relative. It is like looking at a rainbow of different colors. What is true for one person is not true for another. Understood?
I think he's referring to the inner truth within us, the authenticity of who we truly are.
And that is what we're speaking about. Each truth, no matter what you call it, whether it's from outside or inside, is all different. There is no one truth. There only is. So you want to know how it is that you can find the true you, That's not easy. What is the true you? Well, we will say this. What is it that you vibrate with? What is your birds of a feather? What is the frequency that you feel most comfortable with? Then that most likely is for you in this lifetime the true you. Perhaps, Gaia, you can help them explain.
So there's multiple realities and multiple probabilities. So the multiple probabilities allow us to choose, because we always have free choice. And
Yes.
in each probability, we're going to have a different truth.
That is correct. But here in this particular realm and this timeline, you will have one particular truth. The truth of who you are and the energies that you are allowing to run through you at this particular time. That will be your truth, that which you will resonate with. You know that you are, we will say your name as Renee, and you know what your truth is in this lifetime. Your prime energy is Gaia. Anthony's prime energy is of the angelic realm. That is his truth, and this is your truth at this particular time. Now, what will you do with it? Well, you can use it for whatever you choose. We hope you use it for love, as you and Anthony do, to teach your students and to give to your students the knowledge that we give and impart to you as well.
I think in his chapter about government, I think part of what he's trying to say is that we get lost in what these human constructs have done and the conditioning of how we should run our lives, rather than being the authentic voices of who we really are.
Each government feels that its government is correct. And that is true. Each government is correct. Because that is the government's truth. But it may not be your truth. What goes on in one country as truth may not be truth in another country. And in that, you find yourselves knocking heads against each other, like two rams butting heads. When there is an impasse, one wants to win. This is when you begin to fight your wars. In a democracy, you say that you have the freedom to think the way you wish to, and you do to some degree. But many times your presidents, your governors that you choose want you to think the way they do. They say their constituents elected them, therefore they will think like that. It's a very self-centered way of running a government. Your governments really are here to assist you, to give you aid, to allow you, in essence, so they should, to be individuals. But they don't. It is a very self-centered, self-ego-driven society and governments that you have. But that's a story for another time, isn't it?
And that's where we have been in our state of consciousness for the last couple hundred years.
That is correct. None of your governments truly is about love. They fear that. They fear that if their government focuses upon love, that they will be weak. But they don't understand. It is the opposite. Love is the most powerful source in the universe. If they could understand that, they would have the strongest of governments in the world.
So he also asks, what is real and what is love?
What is real? Nothing is real. Do you wish us to tell you what is truly real? As we did before? Are your listeners ready? You can believe that this body is real. That's fine. Because for you it is real. But in essence, in reality, it is not real. As we said before, we will say again, it is nothing more than one of many projections. So is it real? Yes and no. What is true? Nothing is true. Do you know why? Because there are no absolutes. Just because 2 plus 2 in this universe equals 4, it does not mean 2 plus 2 in another universe equals 4. It may equal 6. Nothing is true. Love. Now, if there is only one thing that is truly permanent, then that is the source that is permanent. Love is the only thing that is truly permanent. Who am I? Well, that's something for you to discover. You discover who you are. That is the most important journey that you as a human being can take on. The most important journey that you can follow as a path to discover who I am as a human being, and then to pass that knowledge on to others to help them discover who they are as well, as you and Anthony are doing in this very moment, helping all of them to answer these 3 important questions.
So once we unlock it, we help others unlock it, who help others unlock it, who help others unlock it, and so on.
That is correct. And when you help others unlock it and they help others unlock it, do you know what that does?
It raises the consciousness of an entire society.
That is absolutely correct. And when you raise the consciousness of your own society, you will raise the consciousness of other societies. And then when all of your societies on this planet becomes high, if you will, is raised to a beautiful vibration of love, then that is then when magic will truly happen.
It impacts everything in the universe and beyond.
That is correct. And with that, we will take leave.
Thanks, guys, for coming through.
Thank you for having us again. We enjoy these little chats. Thank you for receiving us. Everything has order.
It does indeed. Soon Anthony will be back in his human body, in the here and now, present in this moment. If you haven't picked it up yet, it really is a great read. We love all of his work. There's also a Q&A interview on our website on him from about a year or so ago. And Anthony's now back.
More or less. I'd like to thank you for joining us, and we look forward to working with you again and answering more questions. Thank you.
Thanks so much.